We begin this morning with brand new reporting about Ivanka Trump. Her lawyer now admitting she used her private personal email to communicate with White House officials. So here's a question for the president. If Hillary Clinton's use of a private account was a jailable offense, does your daughter deserve a similar punishment? I have a great team here to break all of it down, including the man whose record request helped bring these emails to light. But first, I want to tell you exactly what's going on. A spokesperson for Ivanka Trump's attorney is now admitting that she, quote, occasionally used her private email to communicate with cabinet officials last year. According to the Washington Post, that could be a violation of federal records rules. Ivanka was reportedly using the private server. Can you believe we're talking about a private server again? Even after she became a presidential advisor in the spring of last year. But her attorney says she stopped using it once she was aware it was a potential violation. Quote, while transitioning into government, after she was given an official account, but until the White House provided her the same guidance they had given others who started before she did, Ms. Trump sometimes used her personal account, almost always for logistics and scheduling concerning her family. Nevertheless, it bears a striking similarity to the same bad practices that President Trump slammed Hillary Clinton for during the 2016 campaign.
I guarantee you one thing, we're going to be talking about those emails every moment of every day. Crooked Hillary's emails. How can Hillary manage this country when she can't even manage her emails? This is the biggest scandal since Watergate. How about if she's running the country? She can't even run an email. She should be in prison.
I feel an I'm rubber and you're glue video coming somewhere. In both cases, these women used private email accounts to communicate with government officials. Both women used private attorneys to determine what emails should be reviewed and which should be retained. And like Trump, Clinton pleaded ignorance of the rules surrounding email usage. But there are important differences as well. Trump's use of private email appears to cover about 7 months, from February 2017 until last fall. Hillary Clinton used it for all 4 years that she served as Secretary of State. According to people familiar with an internal review that began last year, Trump's attorney found less than 1,000 emails that discussed her official schedule and fewer than 100 that discussed government business with other administration officials. By comparison, Clinton's attorneys determined that about 30,000 of Clinton's emails addressed official business and had to be turned over to the State Department. According to the FBI, another 31,000 emails were deleted after Clinton determined that they were personal. Trump's attorney says none of her emails were deleted. Trump's attorney also insists none of her emails contained classified information, and so far, none have been uncovered. But we don't know. We haven't seen the rest. On the other hand, the State Department determined more than 2,000 of Clinton's emails included classified information, and in some cases, they were marked top secret.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.